Every school of philosophy really just starts as one stubborn question about how to live, what's true, or whether anything matters at all. In this video, we're walking through 10 of history's biggest thinking frameworks, from ancient China to modern Paris, in the order they actually appeared. For each one, you'll get the single question it's obsessed with, and a mascot thinker who embodies the whole idea in a single image. By the end, you'll be able to spot Stoicism in a meme, Nihilism in a cartoon, and Existentialism in your favorite movie plot. Confucianism began around 500 BCE in ancient China with a teacher named Confucius, who wasn't trying to build a religion, but a practical guide for living well together. His core question was simple: how should I treat others to keep society in harmony? Confucius taught that if everyone honors their role, parent, child, ruler, subject, friend, and practices virtues like respect, honesty, and filial piety, families and nations naturally run smoothly. Picture a son bowing to his elderly father, not out of fear, but because that respect holds the whole community together. Confucianism isn't about personal salvation or the afterlife. It's about ethics, education, and social order in this life. Even today, its emphasis on respect for elders, hard work, and education still shapes daily life across China, Korea, and Japan. Stoicism started in Athens around 300 BCE, founded by a merchant named Zeno who lost everything in a shipwreck and turned to philosophy instead. Its core question is refreshingly practical: what can I actually control? Stoics argue that our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our judgments about them. So the goal is mastering your reactions rather than the outside world. Imagine a ship captain calmly steering his ship through a raging storm, focused only on the wheel in his hands, not the wind he can't stop. This philosophy became famous through Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who wrote private notes to himself about staying calm under pressure while running an empire. Stoicism has surged back into pop culture today because its advice, focus on what's yours to control and accept the rest, feels like a survival manual for modern anxiety. Rationalism took shape in the 1600s with thinkers like René Descartes, who wanted to find truth so certain that no trick or illusion could shake them. Its core question is bold: can I reason my way to truth without trusting my senses at all? Descartes doubted everything he could: his body, the outside world, even reality itself, until he landed on one thing he couldn't doubt: the fact that he was thinking, giving us his famous line, "I think, therefore I am." Picture a philosopher sitting motionless in an armchair, eyes closed, solving the universe purely through logic, like a mathematician proving a theorem in his head. Rationalists believe some knowledge, especially in math and logic, is built into the mind and reachable through pure reasoning, independent of experience. This approach laid groundwork for modern science's love of deduction and airtight logical proof. Empiricism grew out of Britain in the 1600s and 1700s, championed by thinkers like John Locke, as a direct answer to rationalism's armchair confidence. Its core question flips the script: how do I know something is true, if not by testing it? Empiricists argue the mind starts as a blank slate, and every idea we have gets written onto it through our senses: seeing, touching, tasting, experimenting. Picture a scientist in goggles, mixing chemicals in a beaker, trusting only what she can observe and measure, rather than what she can merely imagine. This hands-on, evidence-first attitude became the backbone of the entire scientific method we still use today. Where rationalists trust pure logic, empiricists insist you've got to go out and check. Idealism emerged strongly in the 1700s and 1800s, with philosophers like George Berkeley, Immanuel Kant, and Georg Hegel, who each challenged what reality even means. Its core question is mind-bending. Is the world made of solid matter out there, or is it fundamentally shaped by minds perceiving it? Berkeley went so far as to argue that things only exist because they're perceived, an idea often summed up as, to be is to be perceived. Kant took a subtler path, suggesting our minds actively shape and organize raw experience into the world we recognize, like a pair of tinted glasses we can never take off. Imagine a thinker popping a soap bubble and discovering an entire tiny universe swirling inside, dependent on his gaze for its very existence. Idealism pushed philosophy to seriously question how much of reality is actually built by the observer's own mind. Utilitarianism was developed in the late 1700s and 1800s by Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill in Britain, aiming to put morality on a practical, almost mathematical footing. Its core question is direct. Which action produces the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people? Instead of judging actions by rules or intentions, utilitarians look purely at outcomes. Did this choice increase overall well-being or reduce suffering? Picture a judge holding up a giant scale, piling smiling faces on one side until it dramatically outweighs a single frowning face on the other. This is the philosophy behind the famous trolley problem, where people are asked whether it's right to sacrifice one life to save 5. Utilitarianism still drives real-world debates today, from public health policy to how governments decide who gets limited resources. Nihilism crystallized in 19th century Europe, closely tied to Friedrich Nietzsche's diagnosis of a culture losing its traditional foundations. Its core question is unsettling. What if nothing in the universe actually has built-in meaning, purpose, or value at all? Nihilists argue that concepts like morality, truth, and cosmic purpose are human inventions, not fixed features of reality. So nothing is objectively meant to be. Picture a character shrugging with an empty speech bubble, while the ground beneath them crumbles into confetti, completely unbothered. This is the vibe pop culture loves to borrow, like Rick and Morty's nihilistic one-liners about an uncaring universe. Nietzsche himself actually saw nihilism as a dangerous stage to move through, not a comfortable place to live forever, since he believed people still needed to create their own values afterward. Existentialism took shape in the 19th and 20th centuries through thinkers like Soren Kierkegaard and Jean-Paul Sartre, partly as a response to that nihilistic void. Its core question builds directly on nihilism's problem. Since there's no built-in meaning handed to us, how do I create my own? Sartre's famous phrase, "Existence precedes essence," means we're born first and only define who we are afterward through our choices and actions. Picture a person standing at a foggy crossroads with no signs at all. So they grab a paintbrush and paint their own signpost pointing wherever they choose to go. This philosophy puts enormous weight on individual freedom and responsibility. No gods, rules, or fate get to make your choices for you. Existentialists insist that even refusing to choose is itself a choice. So authentic living means owning every decision you make. Absurdism was developed by French philosopher Albert Camus in the mid-1900s, growing out of the same existentialist soil but reaching a different conclusion. Its core question captures a very human tension. What do I do when I desperately crave meaning, but the universe just stays silent? Camus called this clash the absurd, the gap between our hunger for answers and a cosmos that never actually answers back. Rather than despair or pretend fake meaning exists, Camus suggested we should rebel by embracing life passionately anyway, fully aware it may be pointless. His central image is the Greek myth of Sisyphus, condemned to push a boulder up a hill forever, only for it to roll back down every time. Camus famously imagined Sisyphus smiling on his walk back down, finding freedom and even joy in the struggle itself, rather than the outcome. Postmodernism emerged in the mid to late 1900s through thinkers like Michel Foucault, Jacques Derrida, and Jean-François Lyotard, reacting against big, confident claims to universal truth. Its core question is sharply skeptical. Who actually gets to decide what counts as truth, and whose interests does that serve? Postmodernists argue that so-called objective facts are often shaped by language, culture, and power structures, so we should question grand, one-size-fits-all explanations of history, morality, or science. Picture a cartoon detective triumphantly holding up a shiny truth trophy, only to flip it over and discover it's actually a tangle of tiny puppet strings, pulled by someone off stage. This lens has deeply influenced how we analyze media, art, and institutions today, encouraging us to ask whose story is being told and whose is left out. Critics say it can tip into total relativism, while fans say it's simply healthy skepticism toward anyone claiming they alone have the final answer. And there you have it. 10 completely different answers to humanity's oldest questions, from Confucius bowing to his father to Camus smiling at his boulder. Next time you see a quote, a meme, or a shrugging cartoon character online, you'll know exactly which mental model it's borrowing from. If this helped untangle philosophy for you, subscribe for more idea explainers that turn big thinkers into simple, memorable pictures.